everyone, and finally, welcome back to another EPL preview. Just finished a profitable international break for me, which is something I don't say very often, but excited finally get back into club soccer.
Yep, we got a 5-game EPL slate here. Let's not waste any time. Brighton Norwich. Brighton minus 222 favorites. They've lost 6 in a row playing against the worst team in the league. You'd think that maybe this is a bounce back spot for them. We see this lineup wouldn't be great. Gross would take most, and March would sometimes take a little bit here. And then for Norwich, it would most likely in this lineup just be Rashica. So interesting there. Brighton, of course, 6 in a row. You don't want that. And Norwich have to win every game. So interesting game for sure. Got Burnley, Man City, our favorite City roulette. Nothing like getting back to Prem and getting surprised with some City. Minus 500. Problem is at Burnley, tough place to play. Burnley have been struggling too recently. This is the team will be McNeil and Westwood splitting. Not that you're playing anyone from them besides Pope. And for Man City, it would be De Bruyne and Mahrez, maybe a little bit of Foden. For Chelsea and Brentford, they are minus 300 favorites, Chelsea. This is not the ideal lineup by any means. I mean, you got all the big guns. I personally don't think they're going to play this. They have Champions League. I mean, I don't see them playing all the big guns. I don't think James is going to start. We're praying he doesn't start because he just burns us either way.
He's 8K and got 30 points as a ceiling, man.
Yep.
Then you're screwed.
Yep, it's happened.
You really just want one of Mount or Ziyech just for set pieces at Monopoly.
Yeah, if you see Mount and Ziyech, then it gets tough. But this is the team they're most likely splitting.
And if it's one or the other, it's a lock and load. So
right.
It's a tough place to be in.
You're praying. The one that probably would get rested, I think, is Ziyech, but I don't know. And then for Brentford, this would just be Ericsson Monopoly. It'd be interesting to see if he starts. He did play a lot during the friendlies. Leeds, Southampton. Leeds are somehow favorite, plus 140. Jesse Marsh got them playing again. This is their lineup. I think we could see Harrison Dallas or Rafinha Dallas.
Or Phillips maybe even.
Yeah, we haven't seen Phillips play yet, but he's supposed to be back. He was on the bench last game, even though he wasn't even going to play, even though he was on the bench. But they've had some time to rest and heal, so we'll see if they can bounce back. Phillips is big in this game. Like, if he's playing, it makes me like Southampton a lot less than if he wasn't playing.
Not big for DFS, big for them playing better.
Right. Well, I think still big for DFS. I don't think Ward-Prowse is going to go as insane as he would have.
Yeah, but you're not picking Calvin Phillips, really, though, are you?
Oh, yeah, no. And then for Southampton, just be Ward-Prowse, obviously our favorite player of all time. And then Wolverhampton, Aston Villa. Villa are favorites at plus 155, slight favorites, you could say. These two teams are not my favorites at all. In this team, we'd see Coutinho and Nuri split with maybe Podence and Trincao taking also if they felt frisky. And then for Aston Villa, you got Digne, Luis, and McGinn triple splitting. So this is not a game you're playing for set pieces. You're playing for ceiling.
I think you play Digne for set pieces. He gets there. He always gets there.
Yeah, he got subbed last time I played him, and I vowed to never play him, and I'm still probably never going to play him. Now, the pricing, they threw us here with an 11K Mahrez. He has been playing in the World Cup qualifying, though. He has played a lot of minutes. I don't know if he's going to start. I know he is in here, but they have Champions League coming up. I don't see him go and play 2 games of World Cup games, Premier League, Champions League. That just doesn't seem like something Pep will do. So I think if anyone's going to get rotated, it's going to be Mahrez. So, if he plays, he's probably my favorite City piece other than De Bruyne.
Despite that price?
Yes, despite that price. I mean, he's just insane. He is so good. Very good. I'll play Mahrez anytime I can. I'm not playing Rafinha, even if he starts with or with Sepp. It's just too much of an anomaly or too much uncertainty with their set pieces for me to want to play. Rafinha, Sterling, I think would be the guy to start if Mahrez doesn't, but I don't know. I think I'd rather play Chelsea guys over Sterling.
I know, yeah. Sterling rubs me the wrong way. I don't know. I can't really put my finger on exactly what it is, but not my favorite play.
And Coutinho, no. Havertz is injured. People might go Havertz.
Yeah, I mean, he's very goal reliant. Like, you need probably 2 goals from him. You end up with 12 if he scores one, most likely.
But he's been good.
Yeah, he has been good. I don't know. This is just literally going to be hoping you get the ceiling right since it's this many games and this many big favorites.
Foden, people might go to too, even though he won't have. Maybe he'll have a little, like a corner or two, but I don't know if 8K for Foden's cheap. We're usually seeing him 98, 10,000, but
If there's no Mars, he's a lock and load. Simple as that. If he's still in play even with Mars.
yeah, if you see Sterling playing and Foden, then you're seeing De Bruyne and Foden split, and then he's the first guy in your team. I'm not playing Podence. Pulisic's not going to play. Tony, see if Lukaku plays. That would be interesting. Interesting price if he does play.
Yeah, Lukaku, I might be behind that for that cheap. Finally broke his duck last Champions League game.
Yep. Gross is interesting if you don't see March or McAllister. I mean, he's been doing his thing, you know.
He's all right. I don't know.
Cash.
I don't know if that's really, for cash, yeah. GPP, I don't think that's enough. Like, there's like 0 chance he scores like a penalty kick that he is inoptimal.
Last time you said that, and then he dropped 22 floor on your chest, so we'll see if he can do that again, but...
Yeah, sure.
Bernardo and Jesus, don't know if they're going to play. Let's keep going. Rodrigo's been kind of good recently, but sub-risk. Werner. We wish Werner could ever start because he'd be in a good spot here. I like Rashica a lot. He's probably my second forward in. We always have been playing Rashica. He's been If we don't see Gilmore, I'm playing Rashica.
I think you risk him if there's no Gilmore anyway. He's cheap enough that you can take him on a flyer.
Yeah, it's not like he's 7K like he's been. He's 5,900. You're playing him over all of these guys.
Ooh, I'll play for GPP though. I like a lot. 5,800 is very cheap. Maybe he's in he's got a very good game. Home Norwich, even as bad as Brighton have been.
Same with Trossard.
Yeah, same both of them.
And Dan James, these guys are all GPP guys. Pookie, same thing. If Hudson-Odoi were to play, I'd be interested, but we'll see if he does. 5,600 people will play him.
I'd say the odds are against it.
Against him playing, yeah.
Yes.
Hwang Hee-chan, these guys are all GPP.
There's a lot of cheap forward GPP options, a lot.
Yep, if Leon Bailey were to somehow start, highly doubt he will, but
he'd be a cash play even if Leon Bailey were to start.
Yeah.
I think.
Sargent. We got we see him FOTMob's projected lineup that this guy, he's been good off the bench from what I've seen, Mr. John Rowe, so maybe
I'll play him. I'll play him for 3,500. Give me that. Seems like I can stack more City.
More Chelsea.
Yeah.
Midfielder. So this is where it gets interesting. If you have to pay for a Mahrez or something, you're going to have to only be able to pay up for one of De Bruyne, Ward-Prowse, Mount, or Ziyech.
Yeah. I know you said Mahrez was your favorite guy. De Bruyne is my favorite guy. He's the one who's going to play for sure, in my opinion. I don't really see a way they rest him. He's probably got the highest points per game on the slate. You look at his logs, he's just incredible. You just play De Bruyne.
Yeah, you're playing De Bruyne, and then your next decision is if you're not playing Mahrez, and what midfielder are you playing out of Ward-Prowse, Mount, or Ziyech?
Ziyech, literally because he's cheaper. And if he's not in, then Mount.
If I don't see Calvin Phillips, people are going to play Ward-Prowse.
They're going to play Ward-Prowse even with Calvin Phillips. People will just go to Ward-Prowse like they always do.
I mean, it's hard to play. I mean, look at he's just been getting a bunch of set pieces every single time. They don't go games without set pieces. But, man, one of these games he's going to have 4 crosses, and it's going to burn you for 9,500.
You'll get a 6 one of these days. I think this game could actually be it. I know Leeds gave up a lot of goals, or they haven't even been giving up that many under Mark, but I don't think they give a ton of sets up regardless. Even though Southampton always find a way, but I don't know.
Now, like we said about Mars and Foden, if we don't see one of Mount or Ziyech, you're playing whoever is by themselves. So if you just see Mount, playing Mount. Just see Ziyech, you're just playing Ziyech. You're preferably hoping for Ziyech because he's more fun to pick for DFS.
Yes.
But
I think Mount's actually likely to get. Mount played a lot of minutes for England, so I think he could have
but I mean,
too.
was he really trying in a pointless friendly? Like,
yeah, you could make a good point.
Gundogan's not gonna play. Probably Harrison, your boy, could have some set pieces.
He could nuke. He does love randomly nuking.
He'll nuke when we never decide to pick him.
Yeah.
Grealish is in projected 6,300. I mean, people always go to Grealish. He's been pathetic. I keep picking him. He's been horrible.
I think you take an 8 for 6,300.
No.
Like, he's got potential to go off, too.
We'll talk about a guy later, but I'll take 8 from somebody else way down there. Your boy. John McGinn, some set pieces, but just a hard roster. El Yanusi, same thing. Ericsson, tough. Keep going down here. Jorginho, penalties. Gilmore, if he were to start, maybe.
He's playable for that price. Gilmore in cash for sure.
He's playable, but you're hoping that he starts. Will he? I don't know. Same with GPP. Motor's interesting.
He's been not as good as he's been in the past at being that goal-scoring mid.
People will go Douglas Luiz for his 2 corners and hope that he gets 17 tackles.
I mean, he has been.
I don't know about that.
Look.
Well, you won't see him in my team for sure. Westwood, I mean, it's ugly down here. You're hoping for like 8 from tackles. Norgard and Basuma are the kings of those. 4 shots too much, but we'll get to one guy down here that's interesting. Your boy. If you want an 8, this is probably the guy you're not paying 64.
Or a 30.
All right. Now he just got his whole total for the year in one game. I don't see it happening. He's probably going to be popular. 3,300.
I'm having a lot of him.
He can't kill you is the thing. I just hate him. He's so bad. But, I mean, we'll see.
He's the only attacker in that range within like a K. Unless Pacheta plays, but he's not going to. But like, I don't know how you don't play him. Like, Aston Villa is not that good of a team. Like, I'm not afraid of picking him at that price at all.
And just one last guy to mention: if you don't see Rashica and you don't see Gilmore, then you play Norman at 3K.
Yeah,
but that is hoping for a lot. Defender. Another tough, a lot of decisions to be made. You're hoping Reece James doesn't play because then your salary is just a disaster. People will still find a way to get him in as they always do and hope for his 2 goals every time he plays that I don't play him. I'm not going to – I don't see why they start him with Champions League coming up. Maybe they bring him on at 60, but why start him now?
Yeah, that's a good point. But like, if he isn't, though – I mean, I don't know how you don't play him, really. I mean, I know he's 8K, but, like, you've just been just a monster, especially with the lack of set-piece defenders that we usually see on these classic slates.
Yeah, I mean, when he plays, he's good. When he doesn't, he gets a 7, then you're cut, though. Cancelo's always in play. He's just a very tilting guy to me.
If there's no James, he's going to be very, very chalky.
Just by default. Maybe that goes also to Alonso also.
I think to a lesser extent, but yeah.
Got your boy Digne.
He'll be popular in cash.
I'm not playing him.
He always is popular.
Won't be in my lineup. I'm just so sick. Injuries and early.
You happen to pick him the one bad game he had. Like every other thing he's been fine.
Every time you see an 8 or a 9 or a 4, it was me having him. So Dallas, let's go Johnny. Johnny's been insane. He's just too much, though. Nuri will split his 1 corner of sets. People will play him at 65% ownership and hope for 8.
He's been
I'll pass. Dallas is the same thing as Nuri.
Cuckoo, too. You missed.
Yeah, I'm not playing him. I know he's playing Norwich, but Dallas is a guy people could go to just because he splits. But Cucurella... Cash has been just the best right back in the world, but we'll see. Azpilicueta, if he's playing right back, he's the guy I'll go to.
If Zinchenko isn't, if
He's
Zinchenko's
not
in, I'm
playing.
going him.
He's not playing. No way. But if Aspie's at right back, you have to formation watch. He's at right back.
I don't know. Even if he is a right back, there's better options, I think. Like, he doesn't cross.
Is there?
Yes. I mean, I'd rather go to Digne. Yes, for sure.
Home to Brentford versus at Wolves. Cheaper
Well, one
price.
is Digne, one's a center back playing right back.
No. I'll play Kyle Walker.
Peters or Kyle Walker?
Walker. He's been pretty good recently.
I'll go Kyle Walker or Peters.
Keep going. We got the man who's been revitalizing Leeds, Luke Ayling. This is where it gets ugly. Perot isn't projected. I wouldn't be opposed to Perot just because he's an outside back. And then, let's see, there's a couple down here. Max Aarons or whoever it is of Aarons and Byram are interesting.
I think Giannoulis wasn't projected, was he not? Right,
he is your boy. He isn't projected.
I like him a lot. He is very active.
I hope you are prepared for the halftime sub when you roster him.
But he's good. He just crosses a ton.
He's played 90 once. Nope, a couple times, but
yeah, when he does, look at those points.
You will know if Norwich are losing that Giannoulis is getting subbed at halftime. So you're hoping that they're winning and that he won't have any reason to be subbed. But I don't know why they wouldn't just play Brandon Williams anyways. But he's better. And he's cheaper.
Not better for DFS.
No, but he's cheaper. So that's something. Keep going down here. I mean, these are all center back punts. Willie Bolly's a big guy. Could always get a header. And that's really about it. I mean, defender is just... You choose what guy you're paying up for, whether that's Digne, Alonso, Cancelo, James.
You're probably thinking which guy.
Or playing Dallas, or you could just start your defense with Dallas or Aspie and then play Sam Byram or Giannoulis. Goalkeeper, favorite position. Every time I've played a Premier League slate recently, my goalie's the first to concede. So, I don't know. I mean, you think there's 2 guaranteed clean sheets here.
Yeah.
You would think, but is it worth paying for their 10?
I feel like, has Mendy ever drop a 10? I feel like Chelsea have shot on goals.
He had 2 10s in a row.
Yeah, 2 10s.
But he's probably the guy I like more just because they're at home, and Burnley could always do some good stuff.
I agree with you. Mendy's my favorite pay up over Ederson.
Ederson is very capable of dropping a 10 or very capable of dropping a 3. 3 with the win.
Yeah.
Sanchez, if Brighton weren't legitimately horrible recently, he'd be my favorite, but he's burned me a lot. So
I don't think he's cheap enough to warrant me paying him.
He's not
over Mendy.
Yeah, I agree. He's not. Emi Martinez, I just never play Wolves I never play.
I think it's always in play playing a goalkeeper in a Wolves game, though.
Yeah. If you see like Fabio Silva, Trincao, and someone else.
Raul Jimenez got his red cards. That's
so it's gonna be tough for them to score. But Melier, I don't think I want to play him. He's just terrifying to roster. Terrifying. Or Kleisen, whoever it may be. Forster. Sa is probably gonna be somewhat popular.
He always is too. Like he just
for good measure. Other than last game,
he's like last year's Nick Pope. He will just play him, just no matter who he plays.
For good reason. I think my favorite though, if I'm paying down, people will probably just by default go Pope.
Yeah,
I don't mind Raya. Yeah, but my favorite's Kroll.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know about that one. I'd go Raya over him. Chelsea never are gonna score 4, or very rarely at least.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, if you were to tell me that Raya got a 6, you take it. You take it and run. If any of these guys, Kroll, Raya, or Pope gets a 6, take it any day. You're just hoping that like a Mendy doesn't drop a 25, and then. But other than that, I mean, in cash, you're hoping for like a 6. So yeah, that wraps it up. MLB coming in 6 days. We got soccer, 5 trillion games on Saturday and Sunday. We got golf, Masters preview coming out soon. It's exciting times. $20, start of the month. Do it now if you're subbing. If you're thinking about it, now is the time to get the most bang for your buck. $20 a month, all sports. None of this added pressure. Sub, like, comment. Follow our social medias, all
Yes,
down in the
all the
description.
promotion.
All of them. Bodega, New Age, Charlie, anybody, all of us, we're there. Happy to help. We'll see you later. Peace.
Peace.